Hi, everyone, and welcome to tonight's team call. Tonight we have our special guest, Danielle. She is on Team Let Your Light Shine. She is just signed up at the end of August, and she hit Success Club 10 her first month in September. She is already on the board with Changing Lives this month and is already really passionate about talking about the coaching opportunity and expanding her network. So I thought it would be awesome for her to jump on since she was here at my house today working. We were working together, and we can kind of just have a little Q&A, and she can also kind of give some tips that have really helped her, get started as a coach. So if you guys think of anything when she's talking or any questions that you might want to ask her after, please feel free to write those down or shoot them in the chat box so that you don't forget. So we're just going to take 10 minutes to talk about her tips, and then the rest of the time will be open for you guys to ask any questions. So let's start off with, what made you want to become a coach in the beginning?
Well, I kind of started my fitness journey on my own. I gained about 35 pounds in college, and I knew that I wasn't happy with myself, and I knew that I was unhealthy, and I was just really unhappy. So I actually, started going to the gym on my own, and my friend, her ex-boyfriend now, had the Insanity videos and lent them to me, and I got started with that. And I only got through month one, and I would miss a bunch of days, but I was doing it, and I got really committed towards the say January through May to really hitting the gym, 5-6 days a week, trying really hard to eat healthy. But at a certain point, I couldn't push myself to the gym. I'm not a personal trainer. I don't know everything. I was spending about an hour drive time between getting there and driving home, and that was a huge waste of my time. So I started doing the Insanity videos again more seriously in May, and I finished month one, and I went on vacation, and I just kind of fell off the radar, and I realized, I'd seen a lot of Emma's posts, and I knew that Insanity was a Beachbody thing, and I was just like, you know what? I want to be held accountable, and I'm really, really passionate about fitness, and I knew how much the weight loss had affected me, so I really wanted to kind of push that forward and keep myself accountable.
So I guess what would you say was the most helpful thing when you got started as a coach? So the accountability, you said?
Yeah. Just going all in, I think, was the most helpful.
What do you mean by going all in?
Well, I knew it was what I wanted to do. So if that meant reading professional development, then I'd read professional development. If that meant posting every day on social media, okay, I'll post every day on social media. If that means talking to people about health and fitness, then so basically anything that Emma was doing, I kind of did because I knew it worked for her. And anything, if I'd listen to the team calls, I'd listen to the national wake up call, and if what they said they did, then obviously I do it my best to implement because I knew it worked for them. So I just kind of copied everyone.
And just kind of not reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, I just kind of was like, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right. And I'm just going to copy everyone that's successful because clearly they're doing it right. So
yeah, no. And would you say personal development has been something that's helped you?
Yeah, it has. I just drove here from Portland today, as Emma said, and that whole time I had an audiobook of GoPro in the car. Well, not the whole time. I saved some for the drive back, so I wouldn't get bored. But and it's just like little things like that. And the book, what is it? The No book?
Yeah, Go for No.
Go for No was really eye-opening because I was really scared of people saying no to me, and then it was like, who cares? I mean, honestly, who cares? And then the one I'm listening to now is really interesting about inviting and network marketing. I don't know, it's just stuff, if you want to do well in this business, these people know what they're talking about.
So Danielle just started in August, and she's come to me a few times and is like, I only have 4 likes on my pictures. And we all start out that way. And so I think the personal development has probably helped too with realizing that, okay, like we all start out slow. We all start out somewhere. You know, I know me and Alexa didn't start out with getting 100 likes automatically on our pictures. If you scroll, I mean, if you take time to scroll back to when we first started, we have the same amount of likes, you know, as when any brand new coach is starting. So I think that's a
well, and also like I've had like posted a picture of whatever and like no one's really liked it, or like 2 or 3 people liked it, and then I've had someone like message me about it. It's like saying, oh, I connected to this, but they didn't like it. So, which was like annoying, but like,
but it just goes to show. Like,
yeah, so they just because they didn't like it, like they saw it, whether they did or not, I guess.
Yeah. So, how do you think? So, I guess what helped you build the confidence in the beginning? Would you say insanity, or you didn't really try Shakeology when you first started?
No, I haven't.
Everyone's weird. I'm not really sure.
Oh well. Anyways, so yeah, I hadn't done Shakeology. I hadn't tried Shakeology at all. Prior to becoming a coach. So like I signed up as a coach, and then I ordered a challenge pack. And I don't know, it just kind of goes to show that I just did whatever worked for everyone else. And I knew that like you were really successful in your results in terms of like diet and exercise. And so,
you want to make this? I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out.
That's awesome. So anyways,
if you're just jumped on, could you please mute yourself if you are not muted? That would be awesome. We're just getting some feedback. I honestly have no idea who this is. But okay. So let's talk a little bit about expanding your network.
Okay.
Because I know that that's always a really big question when we're getting started. So what have you been doing to expand your network?
On Facebook, on your phone and on the computer, there's like that mutual friends or people you may know, I think. And I literally just I add females only, I don't know. And if I have like mutual friends with them, I just add them. Like, cause they're like, look like they're a real human being and like not one of those weird girls that like pops up. I just add them and I just don't even think about it. And they always add me back because I'm a normal girl and they probably like, oh, maybe she knows me from somewhere, whatever. So I do that. I add like as many people, I don't know, whenever I'm scrolling through and it pops up, I just add them. And then I try, and if I see something they post on my timeline or if they kind of pop up in my messenger, like on the side, I go and creep on their Facebook. I straight up am a creeper. Like this one girl like accepted my friend request, and I don't remember if she was on my messenger or on my timeline or like whatever, but she popped up and I went and creeped on her Facebook, and she posted this thing about, you know, she's in a long distance relationship, and she made one of those boxes from Pinterest where like it's like folds out and it's really elaborate and it's really cute, and she sent it to her boyfriend, and I was like, messaged her and I was like, okay, I know you don't know me, but did you make that box? Because I was in a long distance relationship and I always saw those on Pinterest and I just never was crafty enough to make it, and I thought it was really cute. And we got to talking. This was last month. And now this month, where I just invited her to tomorrow, the webinar on coaching, because, you know, we built a relationship, we found out all this stuff, and then eventually it led to her asking about health and fitness. And it wasn't like in one day she was like, oh, hi, by the way, can I sign up for your challenge pack? Like, no. But it was just through a genuine conversation.
Yeah, so we actually were just talking to her. You were just talking to her, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. She had literally, you know, so she said last month she had talked to her, and she was just talking to her about the 21-day fix challenge pack and talking about how, you know, how much it was. She said, you know, Shakeology this month is $130, you know, about $4 a day, and you also get the 21-day fix for $10 more. And she had a reservation about money. She said she wasn't ready for the money. And so Danielle was like, well, have you ever wondered what I do as a coach? And she was like, actually, yeah, I have. Like, she would have never known if she would have been interested, right? But she just asked, have you ever been interested, or have you ever wondered? And so then Danielle was like, oh, well, we have the event tomorrow. I'd love to invite you. And she was like, yeah, great, add me. And she invited her to the event. So, you know, you just never know who's watching. I mean, she's only been doing this for a month, and she's already wondering what it is that she does as a coach.
Yeah, so. And then, like, I posted this thing about this really nutso diet I tried my junior year when I was at my heaviest, called the military diet, where you basically just, like, starve yourself. I mean, that's really what it is. And I just was like, oh, okay, that's cool, I'll try that. And I posted something about it, and, like, 2 people liked it, because no one likes my stuff. But then, you let's just be honest. But then, like, one random girl that I, like, randomly added on Facebook, she did not like it, and was like, hi, I saw your post, and I'm just starting college, and I'm developing some really, like, unhealthy eating habits. And so we just got to talking, and, like, you know, we haven't really moved too far past then, because I don't want to, like, rush things or be pushy, but, like, I'm sure that eventually that person will either become a coach or a challenger. And, I mean, that was just from one post she connected to and did not like, just for the record. I don't know.
Yeah, so, like, and because I think sometimes as a new coach, we get discouraged because we don't get a lot of likes, because we see that way get, like, 1,000 likes in 20 minutes, or Silverman, or if you're not muted, could you mute yourself? I'm not really sure. I thought everyone was muted, but I'm not really sure what's going on. So, you know, I think it's nice to hear that, you know, we all start somewhere, and just because they're not liking your posts doesn't mean that they're not watching. I mean, I even get this, and I know Alexa does too. You know, we get people who reach out to us all the time who haven't necessarily liked our posts. And on Instagram, we don't always take the time to look at who's liked our posts either, and people still reach out to us and they've never liked something on that. So would you say that Facebook is your main platform that you're working on right now, or what about?
Yeah. So, like, I feel like the people that like my stuff on Instagram are the people that I'm like know in real life that I'm like friends with on Facebook. The like random people that like, you know, get your likes up or whatever are just random people scrolling through to like pictures to get more likes. Like, they're not actual like really interested people. So I still post it there, but I think definitely, I don't know, I feel like Facebook's much more real to a lot of people. Like, you can see I'm a real human being, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably, and I think for me, Facebook was where I started. I know Alexa, she started on Instagram. So I think that just goes to show you just have to find your niche. What works best for you? You know, sometimes Instagram works better for people. Sometimes Facebook works better for people at the beginning and, you know, throughout your journey. So, you know, do what is going to work best for you. Do you have any other tips? That really help?
I guess what I'm doing, and I mean, I don't know, I'm not an expert by any means. I'm just doing the best that I can, and all I've really found that's helped me so far to continue to push me is just like, screw what other people think. Like, honestly, like, I don't know, like, maybe I'm not getting likes, and maybe I have no coaches, which I don't, and maybe I, you know, doubt myself all the time, and I'm like, is this working? And oh well. I don't know if people are annoyed by my posts. Oh well. And if I don't have a coach, oh well, eventually I will. So I mean, just try to get an attitude that like you're doing you're building your business, and I guess it will happen when it happens, and it will happen. So I don't know, just screw it. I don't know.
Screw it, just do it.
I don't know. That'll be my team name.
Oh, that's awesome. Screw it, just do it. So I kind of wanted to just open up the end of, you know, this for you guys. So if you guys have any questions, I don't know how many of you are newer or maybe growing your team, or if you have any questions for Danielle or have thought of anything while she was talking, you can feel free to unmute yourself or put it in the chat box and ask away. I mean, she's no expert, but she's just here to help and just wants to help newer coaches get started right. And just screw it and do it, right?
I don't know.
Unmuted.
I was like, there's like a
phantom
unmuted person. Oh, look at that
Kinsley.
little baby, though.
Oh, oh, is the new one? Oh, hi.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. I have one question.
Yeah.
What would you guys say, like, the most appropriate length of time to wait to recontact someone about doing a challenge? I've been doing like once a week. Should I do it more often, or is that okay?
What have you been doing for like?
From what I've been doing, and like I don't know if this is the right or wrong thing. I'm just doing it. I've been really just like making it the case by case basis. So like, if it's someone that like I kind of formed a relationship with, I'll reach out and more than just checking on, like, hi, I hope everything's okay. You know, I haven't heard back from you. I know life can get busy. The door's always open. And make a caring comment if it's someone you really either know in real life or you feel like you've kind of bonded with or clicked with. That's what I did with that girl that's not going to our sneak peek. She just like stopped responding, and like a week later I just sent her a message being like, hey, it's okay. She sent me back a message being like, yeah, life's just been crazy. I mean, that's what I kind of do because – and I feel like I have that so much where people seem really interested and then just stop responding. And then, like, I'll reach out and then eventually, like, then if that's it, that's it. And I don't know. I guess that if they choose to contact me, I'll be there.
Yeah. No, and I think, I mean, I don't know if anyone else has any other suggestions, but I think, like I think it's really case by case for me. I know Alexa has a really awesome follow-up system as well. But I would say it just kind of depends on what that person's interested in. You know, when you really find their why, you can also, you know, go back with them when you're following up and ask them, you know, how they're doing, how their progress is doing since the last time you've talked. And just like you said, you know, just making that connection and continuing to build that connection. And don't go into that follow-up thinking you're being a burden. Go into that follow-up knowing you're about to change their life. And if they're not ready right now, that's okay. Like she said, the door's always open, and I'm always leaving them kind of a way out. You know, if now is still not the right time, no worries, but I just wanted to check in with you because I care about you and I want to help you because you said, you know, you wanted to lose this amount of weight, or you wanted to run around with your kids more, or just be a healthier example. You know, whatever that why is that you found out from before. I hope that helped. Anyone else? No? Crickets? Alexa, do you have anything to say? Can you unmute yourself? There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There we go. No, I mean, I know that most coaches, you know, one of the hardest things to get a handle on is, you know, just getting into routine, in, you know, figuring out basically what, you know, the most important things to do when you first get started, because all coaches are really usually overwhelmed right when they get signed up, right? So I think you did a great job of touching on how you expand your network, because I know that a lot of coaches struggle with. But do you have, I don't know if maybe you talked about this a little bit more and I was like zoning out, but did you talk about any sort of like schedule or power hour? Do you have anything like that? Or the other thing I wanted to ask about is like, do you have any sort of checklist or anything that you use to help you stay organized? Because I know organization is just something that so many coaches struggle with. So is that something that you've been doing, or have you kind of just been going with it? Because I know for me, when I first started, I was just kind of like flying by the seat of my pants, but just kind of wanted to see, your system, if you have any.
Yeah, I use the Win the Day tracker. I mean, I'm not perfect at it. Like, I could do better, I'm sure, but, you know, I do the best I can. Like, I mostly, since I'm so new, only really use, like, 2 sections of it, because, like, I don't have leads and I don't have coaches. So, I mean, I don't know, it's, like, a little bit easier for me, but I use, like, the part, I literally try and write down every single person that I've communicated with, even if it's literally, like, I have, like, not 600, like 20 people that I literally say in like their name and then said hi. Sarah said, and I do a lot of statements, said hi, said hi, said hi, said hi, like wished happy birthday, like it's so like it just is really ridiculous to look at. Like, and then you know, I kind of like, if they become a challenger, I move them over to that different page. But other than that, I just kind of go between those two pages and I write down, you know, any notes on that big list of things. And then like next to their notes, so say I have like Emma Owen, and then and then it says like thinking about 21 day 6, but like blah 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 blah, and then like I'll do a note next to it that says like invite to clean eating, free clean eat week. As so then, because if I have too many tabs and pages, it's too much for me. Yeah. So I just have two. I have where I write everybody down and make notes, and then I have one that's like challengers only, and then that, to me, that's all I can handle.
Yeah.
That's it. That's my...
We're paper and pen. So, I mean, some people are electronic, some people are paper and pen. So, like I said, find what works for you, again, and have a binder, some system that works for you. You know, hers might be unorganized to some people, but to her it's organized, you know? So, you know, just, like, don't feel like you need to be perfect in this business. I think is something that's helped you, too, is just kind of trying to figure out what's working for you.
I mean, you just gotta screw it and do it. I don't know. You just do. You just do. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it. I don't know. One of those things.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that it's so that I love how you said you just keep it pretty simple. I think that sometimes we overcomplicate it, especially with like tracking and contact lists and all that kind of stuff. It's like really easy to overcomplicate that. So, you know, people have been asking me to do the same thing about the contact list. And I'm like, just do it as simple as you freaking need to. You know, if it's 3 columns with their name, follow-up date, and what you're talking about, then keep it 3 columns, you know. But I love that you figured out what works for you and you kept it really simple. I think that that's good to remember, especially for newer coaches or people just trying to get their business going. You know, just find what works, keep it simple, and don't overcomplicate it for yourself. You know, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else have anything to talk about or ask? No? I hear my son knocking out the door. Yes, we should go for it.
Okay, so like I heard you mention the free clean eating. Now, if we know another coach that is hosting it, is it okay to ask another coach if we could possibly add them to it so like they can kind of, you know, get like a example of what we mean when we say free clean eating for like a week to show them how it's done?
Like you added a coach and they want to know kind of what it is, or is it just someone who you're talking to as a customer?
As a customer.
So
I have one girl who doesn't know what to do when it comes about clean eating. Like she thinks it has to be overly expensive, and I'm like, it really doesn't.
Yeah, and so you know the 5-day clean eating groups are free. And I know Alexa has some files, I have some files, and honestly, like, if it's free, like, why not just create a free group, post about it, and, like, don't be afraid that you're not going to get that many, because when you say free, everyone wants to, go. Yeah, and so maybe run one with someone, or just, and don't think that you need to have, like, 100, like 10 to 15 or 5 or 10, you know, but that's why running with someone else too is a really great thing. And I would just say, hey, I know you don't know much about 5-day, or I know you don't know much about clean eating. I actually have a free 5-day clean eating coming up. I would love for you to be a part of it so you kind of see more about what I mean by when I'm saying clean eating. Because I think that is a huge thing. That's something I didn't know about either when I first started. Was I had no idea what clean eating was. I didn't know that it could be fun. I didn't know that it could, you know, be different recipes. I thought it was just going to be so boring, you know. And I think that's what a lot of people are afraid of. Is they're afraid that the taste of their food is going to be hindered, right? Because we all like good food. So, you know, I don't think that they realize that spices are basically free. You know what I mean? Like, you can add spices to whatever, and there's ways to make clean fried chicken, and, you know, so just different things like that. just expanding your knowledge, I think, is a huge thing when people are just getting started too. And your cat is adorable. It's just like staring at you.
She won't. She won't leave me alone.
So cute. So cute. Did that help?
I'm laying on her to keep her down because normally she'll be like right here in my face, and I can't. You say hi.
Oh, so cute. Did that help?
Yes, that helped a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
What in the world?
Anyone else before we jump off? No? Any? Was that helpful? Did that help? So if you don't know what the Win the Day tracker is, I have posted it in my team page. I think Alexa has it somewhere as well for you guys. It's something I've been utilizing. I found it from Megan Ewaldson. One of her coaches, I think, uses it. And it's basically like the business activity tracker, but I think it's a lot simpler. And some of you probably don't even know what the business activity tracker is.
I don't even know what that is.
So it's something that Beachbody made for us, but this is kind of more, I think, a more user-friendly way of doing that. So I love all these kids on the call. It's so awesome. Mine would be in here, but he would be like the star of the show. So, yeah. So I think that's
cool.
Yeah. No other questions? Or Grace, were you going to say something? No? Okay. Sorry, I saw your hand go up and I was like, you going to say something? Okay, well, thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate all of you getting on. I love seeing all your kids and your pets and stuff. So the recording will be posted soon. Thank you for watching the recording if you are, and we will see you all next week.
Thank you.